In the next section, I want to talk about how we adjust medications for opioid use disorder in patients with liver disease, and then smoking cessation pharmacotherapy. Buprenorphine is metabolized in the liver, and plasma concentrations for both transmucosal buprenorphine and buprenorphine concentrations are increased, and the half-lives are prolonged in moderate to severe hepatic impairment. But unless you're seeing side effects, there's no real safety concern with increased levels of buprenorphine. Interestingly, the naloxone in the blood is affected to a greater degree than the buprenorphine, so the magnitude of the difference increases with the degree of hepatic impairment. Therefore, the risk of a precipitated withdrawal when you're adding buprenorphine naloxone to somebody with severe hepatic impairment, or the risk of side effects, favors the use of the monoproduct, especially for induction. In severe hepatic impairment, it's recommended we reduce the dose by half of what you normally use for buprenorphine or Bupanal, and you double the titration increments. Monitor for overdoses and toxicity. How about for transdermal buprenorphine? It's not studied in severe hepatic impairment. Consider an alternative analgesic because you can't really adjust the dose very quickly. Now, transdermal, remember, is mainly used in pain management. Extended release injections. It's not recommended with moderate or severe hepatic impairment, again, because the formulation doesn't allow for rapid dose adjustment. So if you overshoot and somebody becomes sedated, severely constipated, etc., you have a hard time having that abate. With the development of moderate to severe hepatic impairment, monitor closely for these signs and symptoms of any overdose. If signs and symptoms occur within 2 weeks of administration, removal of the depot may be required. I've never tried that. I'd have to refer somebody to a surgeon. With the use of buprenorphine, elevations in liver function tests are rare, and they're not clinically significant. They may be more common in those who you're treating with buprenorphine who have a comorbid hepatitis C virus infection. The manufacturer's prescribing information does indicate that hepatitis with jaundice has been reported in those receiving buprenorphine, including going on to all the way to hepatic failure. But they didn't really control in these studies well for those that have comorbid IV drug use, the hepatitis B and C, and so I really don't see liver problems with buprenorphine. Evaluate liver functions prior to the initiate of buprenorphine for opiate use disorder and periodically during treatment. I actually do this only every 6 months when somebody is on buprenorphine. The manufacturer recommends for the extended release injectable buprenorphine, monthly monitoring of liver function. For methadone, while it's hepatically metabolized, surprisingly, the pharmacokinetics have not been extensively evaluated in those with hepatic insufficiency. So the good rule of thumb, since in severe hepatic dysfunction, you have decreased clearance of methadone, is to start low and go slow. Monitor for signs of sedation and respiratory suppression. In Child-Pugh Class C, use very cautious initiation, starting at half your standard dose. In those with liver transplantation, we shouldn't deny people this valuable therapeutic option. There's a 2017 survey, which is Fleming et al., 2017. 38% of programs considered a relative contraindication if somebody had had liver transplant for starting them on methadone. One said it was an absolute contraindication. This just is not accurate based on the clinical information. If you looked at very small studies, 38 patients on methadone, only 2 on buprenorphine, showed good graft function when they were 18 months after transplant on these medications. But based on liver impairment, you still may have to reduce the MOUD doses. But if the liver function's restored by the transplantation, MOUD options are back on the table. And then finally, I never want to forget smoking cessation pharmacotherapy. There's no recommendation in the presence of liver disease to adjust the doses of either varenicline or nicotine replacement treatments, patch, gum, lozenge. But bupropion in Child-Pugh B, you should reduce the dose by about half, and with mild hepatic impairment, consider reducing the dose. It's not recommended to use the highest dose of bupropion XL which is the 450 milligram tab. Remember, smoking more than alcohol use is the number one cause of physical mortality in those with substance use disorders in the world. In fact, in the world without substance use disorders, smoking is the number 2 cause. Many would say it's the number 1, but they forget about obesity and sedentary lifestyle, which is the number 1 because of cardiovascular disease and cancer. So our key points in this section: with severe liver disease, doses of methadone and buprenorphine may, though not necessarily, need to be reduced.